by the artist intended to.
All right, welcome to our review of Beatles for Sale, brought to you by the New York Rangers. I think will be a very divisive Beatles album from some of the opinions I've heard from this album, but we're going to get through it anyway. Beatles for Sale, the fourth studio album from the Beatles, released in 1964, their second album that year following A Hard Day's Night. Before we go on, does anybody have any background information on this album?
Background information.
Look at the front cover, and that's all you need to know about what the Beatles were doing at this time.
Yeah, this is coming out in 1964, towards the bottom half, I think. At the time, I mean, the Beatles were pressured to have to put out 2 albums a year. They just put out A Hard Day's Night earlier in the year, 1964. And so they really didn't have enough material to put together another album like A Hard Day's Night. So they're kind of rushed to put out another album by Christmas time, I think. They're always like, okay, we got to get one out by Christmas. Besides that, they also put out like 2 singles along with those albums as well. So they're putting out at least 2 singles, putting out 2 full albums. Plus, they just got done shooting a movie, Hard Day's Night, which became a huge success. So they shot that movie. That movie came out. And they're also doing tours and stuff like that. So they're just jam-packed busy. 1964, to me, is like the groundbreaking year for music and for the Beatles. I mean, this is when the Beatles were now the biggest band in the world. They now have conquered the United States after Hard Day's Night. And so then we get to this album. This is the most forgotten album, I think, of the Beatles' discography. I think you talk to anybody, this is one that you forget that exists. I forget that exists. Sometimes I'm like looking through and I go, oh yeah, Beatles for Sale. I forgot about that album. And I think it's because it's such a weird spot, discography wise. You just get A Hard Day's Night, which I think is the first like groundbreaking album. I think we all agree that was like the best album they've come out with so far. Mm-hmm. And it's the first album where it's all original material. So it's like, oh, wow, that's what we want. We want all original Beatles songs. That's the best stuff, the original material. And so you get that album, huge success, of course. Movie's a huge success. And you got this, and then what do? We go right back to the same formula as the first 2 albums, where we come up with 8 original songs, 6 covers. So it almost feels like they're going backwards on this album. And like Scott said, they were just tired. I mean, like he said on that front cover, they look really tired. And they were just worked to death at this point. And so they put this album out. And then right after this, we get Help. And they shoot another movie called Help in 1965. And that's also a groundbreaking album. So it's weird because it's right between these 2 movie albums that are just absolutely iconic, groundbreaking albums. Beatles for Sale, not considered by even Beatle fans to be one of their great albums, iconically, and all that. Not that it doesn't have good songs in it. It's just so weird how it goes back into that, cover songs, and almost half of them are cover songs. And we really want to get to those originals. So it's a real downer, yeah, when you look at the subject matter of the songs.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest takeaway from this album. But can't wait to dive into this album and see where it's going to lead. I think there's going to be some hot takes on this video from the 4 of us.
Yeah.
So with that said, our first song on the album is a song called No Reply.
Okay. There's a reason why this trash kid's here. This is easily one of the worst albums in general, counting solo and stuff. This is a really awful album opener. Last 3 albums, we got, I Saw Her Standing There. It Won't Be Long. A Hard Day's Freaking Night. This song, man, this song sucks. Very uninspired. John Lennon sings like crap, which is really rare because John Lennon sings amazing for the most part. This is like the only time where I insult their vocals. Like most of the time, I'm like, the Beatles are like one of the greatest vocal bands in the '60s, and this is not a good example of that. This just it just sounds like them trying to be like edgy, and it doesn't work at all. The song sucks.
All right, Jason.
All right. Can I reply to that? No, I'm just kidding.
No reply.
No reply. Go move on. I actually really love this song. I think it's a great opener to the album. I love how it begins with the "It happened once before. I came through her door, no reply." Like I love how it starts right away, right into that chorus. And I don't know, it's a cool beginning to the song, I think. And I even love just the whole subject matter of coming to their door. She's not replying, but he can, I think, see her through the window or something. And I think she's cheating on him with another guy, and all this stuff, and that kind of song. And I don't know, I like John's vocals. I think they're good vocals. I think it's a great melody. I think there's some good harmonies in the chorus part when he goes, "She realized that I came, something, no reply." Like when they hit those notes at the end of there, I think they're amazing notes. I love when they all sing together there. There's some passion behind the vocals, I think, and it's a fun song. Pretty good upbeat song. Yeah, it's one of my favorite.
I actually really like this song. Like Jason was saying, I like how it just starts with "This happened once before," and it's a very different song than all their other openers. All the other openers are more upbeat songs, and this is more of a downbeat song. But I think that kind of reflects the heavy pressure they were going through with the big touring schedule and things like that. I really like the part that goes, "Your face," because there's a blooper where John Lennon replaces all of the lines with "your face," so it's like, you walked hand in hand with another man in your face.
Your face.
This happened once before. I went through your door. Your face. Yeah, and I like the bridge section. If I were you, I'd realize that I love you more. And then Paul McCartney does this really high thing, like any other guy.
Yeah.
It's a good song. I like these first few songs, but then like once we get about halfway through the album, it takes a nosedive.
Hey. All right, so where do I fall on this album or on this song? I really like this song. At first, when I first heard the album, I thought this was just an okay track. But the more I've listened to this song, the more it's shot up on my ranking. I think this is a great opener. I will admit it's probably the weakest opener of the 4 Beatles albums, but I think it's still a really good song. I like how different it is from the other album openers, like Scott said, where this one's a little bit more downbeat. It's a more downer of a song where he discovers that the girl he loves is cheating on him. I think John Lennon, even though, Nick, you said John Lennon doesn't sing great on the song, to be fair, he was under the weather when singing this song. His voice wasn't up to snuff, I read. I think he had a cold or something, but as proven in other times, John Lennon had a cold. He had a sore throat while singing Twist and Shout and still sang great on it. It didn't stop him. But I think when he had the cold, I read he was going to do the higher parts in the chorus, but he couldn't hit it, and so Paul McCartney did it instead. But whatever, it's still a really catchy song. I love how it opens, like Jason and Scott already said, and it's become an earworm the more I've listened to the album. It's, I think, one of the best songs on this album. I'm not gonna lie. So it's like 3 against 1 on No Reply. Our next song is "I'm a Loser."
I just want to clarify before I say anything else. No matter what said today, we're all still friends here.
Yeah.
I respect Jason's opinion. I respect Scott's opinion. I respect Jacob's opinion. And I know they respect mine. None of us are the college genius where we're like, we're not liking what I like, and I'm not gonna be like the college genius and be like, you're dumb for liking this. I just want to say that. I know we all know this, but I just whoever comes in new or might be like, oh, like how can the three of them bear this Ranger fan? You know? How can they stand them? But I just want to clarify that. The song also sucks in my opinion. I think John Lennon's trying to be the bad boy, like he's trying too hard. Like I'm a loser. Like no, you're not. Please stop with. And I hate that lyric where he's like I'm a clown, like under this, like I'm a clown or something like that, and under this mask is I'm wearing a frown. I hate that lyric. It's almost as cheesy as the
I'm gonna love her till the cows come home.
That's the worst one.
I love her more when I walk out that door.
But at least with that lyric, it's like it's so ridiculous. It's entertaining. This is just bad. It's just bad lyrics. John Lennon sounds horrible again. It just I don't know. I can't stand this song. I gave Paul McCartney too much flack for trying to be the good boy. Well, I'm giving John Lennon flack for trying to be the bad boy. It's just like be John Lennon and write good songs, not trying to be like I'm a loser. Like I can't stand it. Awful. Another bad song.
Yeah, I like the song. Yeah, it's interesting. This kind of starts like this subject that kind of similar to like Babies in Black and I Don't Want to Spoil the Party. This whole like very downer, like almost going through a breakup type song where you're very sad over, and you're very self-deprecating kind of and really down on yourself. It's kind of starts that kind of it's kind of a theme through this album. It seems like for John. John must be in a dark place during this time period. I mean, he seems like this, and on Help too, on the song Help and the album Help, he kind of has a downer type. I don't know. He's going through something.
I think he called it his Fat Elvis period.
Called his Fat Elvis years, yeah, where he felt like I guess he gained some weight, and I don't know, he's getting depressed. So yeah, some of his depression kind of flows over.
If this were 2024, he would say it was his Fat Elvis era.
Yeah. But yeah, in saying that, I mean, and I kind of agree with Nick on some of this. The lines, I will agree. I don't think it's the best written song. I think the lines are pretty cheesy at times. Like you mentioned, like something about a clown and I'm wearing a frown. I think there's something about tears fall from, and there's something about tears falling or something from the sky. I don't know. I kind of agree that the lines, if you listen to them, maybe not the best, but this is what I like about the song so much. Of course, I like the beginning part, starting with this a cappella, kind of harmonizing. I'm a loser, and then kind of pauses, and then we get right into the song. I'm not what I appear to be, and all the instruments come in, and we kind of get right in there. I thought it was a real cool beginning to the song. And I'll admit the verses, it's a little weird because John, you never really hear John try singing low. He starts hitting these low notes in the song, which is very much different. Not his best, I think, singing. But I do love the chorus. When it picks up a little bit, the chorus. I'm a loser and I'm not what I appear to be. And the harmonies are great still. I think because of the Beatles, they still sound great. And I still enjoy the song.
Am I the one who likes this song the most? I actually really like this song. I remember the first time I heard it, a friend in college was like, hey, you really like the Beatles. Have you ever heard this song called I'm a Loser? And I'm like, what the heck? I'm a Loser. Is that a real Beatles song?
Yeah.
He pulled up and showed me the album and said, Beatles for sale. I'm like, I know one song on this album, 8 Days a Week. What is on here? I'm a Loser, Babies in Black. And I look at the cover and it's like, this is a weird album cover. They all have these super straight faces, and it's like, let's listen to I'm a Loser. And I'm a loser. I'm like, why does I'm a Loser go harder than it should? Because you'd think it should be a real downer song, and the lyrics are, but I don't know. I actually really do like the song. I actually like when John Lennon does the low notes, like the I should have known I would never have lost, or whatever that is, when he goes really low. I think it's interesting that he tries to do that. I like the kind of country feel of the song
Yeah.
with the harmonica, and one of the big highlights on the song is George's rockabilly guitar solo.
I'm actually with you, Scott. I think this is a really good song. It's another one of my favorite songs on the album. I defended it since I first listened to the album, and it's still one of my favorites. I listened to this album 3 times in preparation for this, and I think it's a really good song. I especially love the country influences on this song.
I was gonna say it definitely.
I love the fact that the Beatles did a semi. They actually have 2 semi-country songs on this album. We'll talk about the other one in a little bit, but this song in particular, I really like. I love the intro with them going "I'm a loser" and building into this really catchy song, catchier than it has any right to be with the title and the subject matter. But John Lennon sounds good on it. I think he could have done a country album if he wanted to. I think he could have sold me on that with this song. The harmonica on it's great. I think this is one of the better songs on this album. And all right, track number 3, "Babies in Black."
This is another song I don't care for. I don't know. They just sound very uninterested, very uninspired. Just the lyrics are not the best. I think, it's another song I just don't care for. It's not as bad as the first 2 songs, but it's another song I don't care for.
Yeah, for me, this is a real kind of hidden gem on the album. No one talks about the song. It's not one of the big hits at all. It's just not a song people really refer to that much. And man, it is. I really like this song, and mainly because of harmonies. It's some of the best harmonies the Beatles have had up to this point, and keeps me coming back to the song. And of course, like I said, it's another song about being in black because you're like mourning over a relationship or whatever, and she's wearing black or something. I think something like that. She's wearing black, and
I wonder what would happen if she saw a red door.
She'd paint it black.
You paint black. Gotcha. But that, especially when he goes, "Oh, then what do you?" And Paul hits these incredible high notes. I always listen to Paul and go, "Man, those are incredible notes." Paul is so good at hitting the high notes to John's kind of middle notes to really make that harmonizing so great. And yeah, I still love this song. Like I said, the harmonies are so good. I love harmonies, and so this is, I think, a hidden gem one.
I like this song not as much as the first 2. I like the guitar playing from George Harrison. I'm starting off with that, and I really like the 3 feel of it, like the kind of the either the 3/4 or 6/8, depending on how you look at it, time signature. And Jason was talking about the harmonies. The harmonies are amazing. It's another one of those songs where you can't really tell what's the melody and what's the harmony because they're both very good. It's another good song before we get to some not quite up to par songs. Still on the good stuff.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. That one right there.
Yeah. All right, so this one, I'm actually with Nick on this one. I don't hate the song, but I do think it's the weakest of the 3 songs so far. I like the harmonies on this track, but I think this song's pretty uninspiring, in my opinion. I don't have much to say on this one. All right, so now we go to our first of 6 cover songs on this album. The first one is "Rock and Roll Music," Chuck Berry cover.
I'm just gonna say this cover sucks. I don't think they cover Chuck Berry good at all. All the Chuck Berry songs that they cover is horrible, especially "Roll Over Beethoven." That's like the worst example of that. But Man, leave the Rolling Stones to cover Chuck Berry because clearly the Beatles can't do it. Rolling Stones, even the weakest cover that they did, which is in my opinion, Route 66. Even then, that song's way better than this. It's about it. Just again, uninspired. It's not good. The Beach Boys version's way better from the 15 Big Ones album. I think they do it a lot better. But to me, the original's the best out of both versions. If I'm gonna listen to a version, I'm gonna listen to the Chuck Berry original. It would have been cool to hear the Stones do it because the Stones have proven they've proven time and time again that they could cover Chuck Berry. Yeah, the Beatles again, they're proving they cannot cover Chuck Berry.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of this cover song, to be honest. It's not. I don't know. It's one of these things where, like I said, you're covering Chuck Berry, and it's like, why? I just want originals. And when they go back and they cover these 50s songs, it feels like them just imitating these 50s songs, and they're not making it. I don't feel like they're really making it their own or doing something different that makes it a Beatles song, like they did with Twist and Shout. They did take Twist and Shout and some other, Please Mr. Postman. There's some songs that they can take, make it their own. Sounds like a Beatles song, totally into it. This is not one that sounds like a Beatles song. It sounds them imitating somebody else. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
This is an okay cover. Yeah, Chuck Berry is the best version of rock and roll music, but the one thing I will say about this is that George Martin plays a mean piano on it. That's the best thing about this cover is you listen to George Martin's piano playing.
All right. Might be in the minority on this, but I actually really like this cover.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now, it's not my favorite song on the album. I think it's not like an amazing cover by any means, but it's way better than Roll Over Beethoven if we're comparing the Chuck Berry covers by the Beatles. One, because John Lennon does a great job singing this song. I think that they did a good job of getting John Lennon to sing this. George Harrison was a poor fit for Roll Over Beethoven. I think this one, I don't know. I kind of disagree. Like, I think the Beatles actually did make this song their own. Like, if I hadn't have known that this was a Chuck Berry song, I would have thought this was a solid Beatles track. I agree, Scott. The piano from George Martin is pretty good. Again, not my favorite, not their best cover in the world, but yeah, I don't mind this. I think this was pretty good. All right, our next song, we go back to another original track, the first Paul McCartney-led song on the album, I'll Follow the Sun.
Yeah, this is another tough song to listen to. This is four albums in a row where there's a song that Paul McCartney's trying to be the goody good boy. It's just as bad as the other three songs, as I mentioned before. This song is probably the worst offender of them all. I'll Follow the Sun. It's such a crappy song. I'm glad he definitely improves his songwriting, I will say. Yeah, this is abysmal. This is, to me, the worst song on the album that we've covered so far, as of these first 5 songs.
Yeah, I love this song. I love when Paul does these type of songs, these acoustic, more ballad types. I feel like, we had And I Love Her in the last album, which it was amazing. And then you get this great one. And to me, it's all like accumulating to my favorite song of all time. It comes on to the next album, Help. But anyways, yeah, I love the whole. This is a song that I believe that Paul wrote when he was like 15 or something. And he wrote it like when he was a teenager. And so it's interesting that he wrote such a kind of mature type song, it seems like, at a young age, and then finally comes out on this album. And it's a short but sweet song. It's talking about, it almost feels like it's an interesting song where it's like he's talking about leaving this person, for whatever reason. and he's going to follow the sun. Like, I don't know, there's some kind of metaphor there. I'm guessing of, leaving a relationship and going to greener pastures or something. But I love the overall melody of it. I love I'll follow the sun. I don't know. It's just a really nice song. It sounds just so nice. Pleasant song. And I love the harmonies there and the kind of the middle part, with him and John. In the end, you must know, one day. And how it transitions from chorus to the verses. And even like the little solo is kind of nice, simple acoustic guitar solo, but it works really well in the song. So yeah, it's one of my favorite.
I am right there with Jason. Breyer always says he's a sucker for ballads. I'm a sucker for McCartney. Like, McCartney is my favorite Beatle. I've made that no secret. And so, like, 9 out of 10 McCartney songs I'll really like. There definitely are some exceptions. Wild Honey Pie, Why Don't We Do It in the Road? Mainly some of his shorter, goofier songs on the White Album. But I really like this song. If he wrote it when he was like 15, then that's really impressive. It's a very short song, short and to the point. Lyrically, it kind of reminds me of Freebird by Leonard Skinner, even though that song hadn't come out yet. Just about like going on to find like something new in life.
Yeah.
His vocals are very good. I really like the song.
I love this song too. This is one of my favorites on the album. I also really like Paul McCartney's acoustic ballads. I love Her from A Hard Day's Night, along with him and John co-leading on If I Fell. I even like Till There Was You on with the Beatles. I might have been the biggest fan of that cover. This is a great,
second biggest fan of that one.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. I thought this is a great original ballad that McCartney wrote. I love the simplistic production. Melodically, the song's pretty cool. One day you'll find tomorrow may rain too. I follow the sun. I went, this is. The more I hear this song, it gets stuck in my head. I think this one's probably one of his catchier ballads. Again, very short. It's just under 2 minutes, but it definitely packs a punch, and it's one of my favorite songs on the album. So, again, I think there's some underrated stuff on here. Well, we go from I'll Follow the Sun to what I think is going to be one of the more divisive songs on the album, Mr. Moonlight.
Moonlight.
Mr. Moonlight.
The song is awful. This is easily the worst song that they've made so far, going with these first 4 albums. The song is really, really bad. I think John sings horribly on it. The organ thing is abysmal. It's, again, the Beatles. You cannot do soul music. You cannot do R&B for the life of you, for the most part. I will say, Please, Mr. Postman is like an exception, but leave that to the Stones. You're trying way too hard to be different, and this is so bad. This is horrible. This is horrible. I can't stand it.
I agree. It's pretty terrible song. One of my least favorite on this album. That beginning part, I never enjoyed that. John doing that a cappella. And you hear him like in outtakes, man. He has a hard time with that beginning. His voice cracks a lot, and you have to. I'm sure they do a bunch of retakes to get that correctly. Yeah, that ham organ, it has to go. Like, I don't think they ever use it again, but it's just so boring. That sound of the ham, to me, that sound of the ham organ, and it's just a boring song. It doesn't work to me at all.
Well, this song puts the ham in Hammond organ. Had to. So objectively, this is a terrible song. However, I will say it's funny to listen to because of how bad it is. I laugh at it every time I hear it. I hear John doing that opening vocal thing, and I was expecting the song to sound very different just based on that opening vocal riff, but then the organ came in, and I was like, oh no. When I first heard it. Yeah, it's cheesy. The organ solo is like, what the heck are you doing? And I know it's a cover, but like the lyrics are so stupid. Mr. Moonlight, like, we love you, bring my love to me. We love you, Mr. Moonlight. Like, this is definitely not going to be in my top 5, but I will say for what it is, I at least get a kick out of it. So I technically don't like the song, but like I at least would get some kind of pleasure listening to it just because of how bad it is.
All right, so for me, I think I had heard this song just out of the blue one time before listening to this album, and I think when I heard it, I'm like, that song's catchy. It's a Beatles song. I hadn't heard anything like that. I didn't know anything about the reception to it. And when you guys kept saying this was one of the worst Beatles songs, I realized I've heard this song before. I'm like, really? This is the worst Beatles song? This is worse than Revolution 9? Like, what?
I never said this was the worst song.
Not as bad.
I never said that.
But I mean, it's a cheesy song. The lyrics are really stupid. Oh, I love you, Mr. Moonlight. But I don't know, the harmonies I really like on the song. I love John Lennon's intro. It stands out. I don't even mind the organ on this song. I thought the organ was a cool addition to this song. And the African drums, I can't say it's a great song. It's not on my top 5.
Okay.
But it's a catchy song.
You want to know a fun fact about this song? So, whenever they were doing this song, and they said we want to get an organ for it, George Martin had to move the Hammond organ into the studio, and that was the first Beatles organ transplant.
Oh wow!
That's just a joke.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I will say, yeah, I do get a kick out of this song, and Nick's probably going, Jacob, you've lost it right now. I'd rather.
We thought you shook me was a hot take.
I'd rather.
I like
rather
you
hear
shook me.
this song
This
than
one
Emotional
sucks.
Rescue any day.
Emotional rescue. I am your white knight here for your emotional rescue on Arabian Charger.
Rescue,
I
but
take the spoken word Mick Jagger thing way over that awful organ solo. Oh,
You know what if Mick Jagger did a spoken word emotional rescue thing in Mr. Moonlight? Mr. Moonlight, we love you. You are here for our emotional rescue.
I would bring it down. Okay. So that was Mr. Moonlight. Last song inside one. This is another cover. Kansas City and Hey, 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 Hey.
yep, this is an awful side closer. So far they're 7 for 7 with awful songs. Paul sings horribly on this. I'll give him a break though, because he was very unconfident in himself at the time, so I could definitely hear the unconfidence in him. This is another bad song. I can't stand the Kansas City part, and the Hey 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 part is even worse. Ba 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 ba. Oh my god! Shut the hell up. Let's get to the best song on the album already. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of this cover either. This is a song that's been covered so many times. It's one of those. It's been passed around, I feel like, and the Beatles do their version here, and again I'm like, man, why are we doing this cover? I want to hear more originals instead of trying to do these 50s covers. It just sounds like it's just not as good as what the Beatles can do originally, and so it's frustrating to get to this. And I've heard though a version of the song where I like it. Like I've heard like I forget who it's called, who kind of made this famous, but
Like,
I've
the
listened to
one
that
came out
version.
in the 50s.
What?
The one that came out in the 50s, probably.
So it came out 50s. Somebody did this, and I listened to that version. I was like, I kind of like this Kansas City song because he kind of slowed it down, and there's more horns in it. I don't know. It's just like I liked his way he did it. This is a little faster paced, and I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. And yeah, and I agree that I hate the hey, 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 and it's like, oh man, come on, you guys can do so much better than this. I guess that's where I come from. I'm like, this is below what you guys can do.
I feel bad if the Chiefs' opening song was this.
I know. Yeah, I know. It has Kansas City in it, which is close to where I live. And
I would like if like for the Rangers, their opening song is Bob O'Reilly. I would hate that this would be the Kansas City Chiefs. Like
I know.
I'd be like the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, and he has to come out to this song.
Yeah, it's too bad it has the word Kansas City in it. But yeah,
Am I the only one who likes this song?
you like it?
At least I like the first half. I think I like McCartney's voice on this. I feel like I like whenever McCartney kind of goes for it, especially on songs like "Oh Darling," which we haven't gotten to yet. But there's songs where he just has a lot of power in his voice, and I like the first half. Like, so I will agree that the hey 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 bit is a little annoying, but I do like the first part, Kansas City part.
All right. I've been waiting for this because this is one I'm going to agree with Nick on.
Oh, wow.
This
garbage came out.
So it's just
garbage.
me.
Not only do I think this is garbage, but I think this is the worst song on the album.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Now, Kansas City, the famous version, I just looked it up. Wilbur Harrison is the guy who sang it.
Okay.
His version is amazing. I love that version of Kansas City. Paul McCartney did not do it justice. And I think the problem I have with this is they meshed two songs that have no real business of being meshed together, Kansas City and Hey, 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 Hey. The latter part was originally a Little Richard song, come to find out. They do not mesh well at all. Paul's trying way too hard to imitate Little Richard, and he doesn't even come close. And his vocals aren't even as good on this song as on other albums and on other songs. And I just thought this was a structural mess all the way through. I think it's one of the worst Beatles songs that we've covered so far on this series. I'm going garbage on this one.
Okay. My biggest
Burns.
my biggest garbage moments on this album are on the second side. Not the first song though. Not the first.
All right, well we're going if anyone has this on vinyl, we flip the record over.
Oh shoot, I got it, but I was too lazy to grab it.
Yeah, I don't have this.
Well, I flipped my invisible copy. But now we're on side
an
2.
Invisible Beatles for sale.
Well, we're beginning
Sticky
side
Fingers?
2 with the biggest hit from this album. And I hope this is one everybody can agree is a great song. 8 Days a Week.
That's the only one.
Okay, we're gonna take away the garbage can for this one. This song's awesome. I love this song. This song is awesome. It's catchy. John Lennon's singing's great on it. This has all of what made the Beatles amazing. This song is awesome. This is one of their best early songs. I was really looking forward to talking about this album. I mean, not this album, this song. This is just an amazing Lennon McCartney track. I love the slow build into the song. This is just a song I could just jam out to. Love me, love me. There ain't nothing of girl. 8 days a week. 8 days a week. I love you. I love this song. I love this song. This is the biggest highlight on the album, and it just makes the other songs even worse in comparison. Love it.
Yeah, this is definitely the highlight of the album. This was the big hit. I would say the only really big song on the album is this one. I think they probably played like rock and roll music in Kansas City. I'm sure we're like favorites when they did live, sing live and stuff. But yeah, this is the one that if you know any song, this song 8 days a week. Yeah, it's one of their great songs during this period, I think. I love the fade in, fade out guitar. That's so cool how it fades in, and then it goes right into "Ooh, I need your love, babe. Guess you know it's true." Yeah, it's just a great melody. It's a fun song, super catchy, and I love when they do this. Is a great live song too. Anytime I go see a Beatles tribute band, they always have that. They always go before the song. They go, "Okay, we want you to clap in between these parts, anyways," and so it's audience participation. You get the "Hold me, love me, hold me, love," and it's fun as an audience. Feel like you're part of the song. And just the harmonies of that 8 days a week. I love. It's amazing. Yeah, it's great. It's great Beatles early music, in my opinion.
Here's the one I've been waiting for. And that was my lovely impression of the Trippy Hippie. Okay, no, this song is amazing.
It's not garbage.
This song is amazing. I've always loved this song since I first played it on the Beatles Rock Band back in 2013, 2014, question mark. And then we got it on the Red album. It's amazing. At first when I heard it, I'm like 8 days a week, but there's only 7 days in a week. And it's like, yep, that's the point of the song. But it's really catchy. I like the harmonies. Hold me, love me. Jason was talking about the claps. I ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week. And I like the guitar at the beginning. Boom, ba-dum, dum, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, dum, dum. Yeah, this is 100% the best song on this album.
I think this is the only one that we're going to go 4 for 4 because I think this is a great song as well. Definitely one of their best early hit songs. I agree with everybody. The guitar riff is great. The percussion is great. Really good melody. Does a good job of reflecting the mental state of the Beatles while also being this catchy little love song. Ain't got nothing but love, baby. 8 days a week. That's a relatable hook. I would say probably the best song on this album, but we'll get to that when we get to the ranking at the end. All right.
And I should say,
we got another cover next. We go from Chuck Berry to Buddy Holly, and they're covering Words of Love.
Oh,
Bringing back the Drunk Garbage Can for the rest of the album. This is an awful song. This is really, really bad, especially after an awesome song like 8 days a week. The last song, they sound very energetic. They sound they sound awesome. This song, they just sound awful. It's just an awful song. I'm like, the Rolling Stones could cover Buddy Holly better on Not Fade Away, and now, yeah, the Beatles, not only did they prove they can't cover Chuck Berry, but they're also proving they can't cover Buddy Holly. So, man, Beatles, they're not the best at covering people. I could definitely tell. I think the Beatles at their best is when they write their stuff. Yet again, it's another awful song. Nothing more to add. It's just uninspired. The harmonies are awful. Words of love. Like, this doesn't sound like the Beatles with their great harmonies. This just sounds like a band that's trying to be like the Beatles, that's covering Buddy Holly. I don't know. I don't know. They're kind of, it feels like they're imitating themselves on this song. It's awful.
I don't know. I feel like I might be the only one that likes this song. We'll see what Jacob says. I already feeling Scott doesn't like it since he got the trash can out. But this is my favorite cover on the album. It's actually one of my favorite Beatle cover songs that they've done. Buddy Holly, I'm a big fan of Buddy Holly. I love his stuff. I wish the Beatles would have covered more of Buddy Holly's stuff. There's some other great songs that I would love to hear their take on. In fact, I think they do That'll Be the Day cover on the BBC album where they sing it live on the BBC, which is pretty cool. But this is funny. It's not really a big Buddy Holly song. It's not one of his most well-known songs that he does. And his version, of course, it's actually very similar. They didn't really do a lot to change the song. They sang it pretty much exactly like Buddy Holly sings it. The only difference is that Buddy Holly sings it by himself, while this version you have like John and Paul singing together. So I kind of like this version even better than Buddy Holly version, just because you get some harmonies here with the two voices together. And I don't know, to me, it's a nice song. It's like, it's not the best on the album, but I'm like pleasant. I think it's a pleasant song, and I enjoy it for the most part. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I actually like this song.
Why? You could have wrote more amazing songs, and you decided to cover this Buddy Holly song that sounds like it was slapped together in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of this one. It's, I mean, the harmonies are kind of nice, but like, even just like the meow 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 meow, it's like, nah, this ain't the Beatles. This is the Dung Beatles.
All right. Where do I fall on the Buddy Holly cover? I'm not gonna go garbage on it, but I don't love it either. I guess I'm in the middle on this. I like the harmonies, but the song to me is on the boring side. I don't really get much out of this song.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say on it. It's not the worst song on this album. I think it's far better than the Paul McCartney crappy mashup we talked about moments ago, but I don't think it's that memorable either. And that leads us.
Where do you put it amongst the cover songs on the album? Is it towards the bottom or the top?
What, me?
Anybody? I don't know.
It's kind of in the middle because there's worse garbage.
There's 6 cover songs on this album.
I'd probably say this is probably the best cover on the album. Like, it's not atrocious, but it's just it's very uninspired.
Oddly enough, I think I'm going to say the best cover on this album is Rock and Roll Music.
Well, you'll find out mine real soon. Our next song, we go from one cover to another. We get 2 Carl Perkins covers on this album, and this is the only song on the album sung by Ringo Starr. It's a song called "Honey Don't."
Honey, don't sing this.
That's my thoughts on the song. It's awful. This song is plain garbage. I hate everything about it. Ringo sounds awful on this. Rock on for Ringo. He does that twice on the song. I think that's awful. It's so bad. He tries to replicate what he did on the Please Please Me album. The guitar is awful. It sounds like, besides 8 Days a Week, it just sounds like them trying to do a 50s album, and it's so bad. I'd say the worst offender of the song is definitely the Rock on for Ringo. Rock on, George. Shut the hell up, Ringo. Just stick with drumming on this album, please. And that's my opinion on this song.
Yeah, poor Ringo. He gets the worst material on every album, I'm afraid. And because Boys was my least favorite song on Please Please Me. I Want to Be Your Man was like my least favorite song. Was it on With the Beatles, right?
Yeah, he did that on With the Beatles.
Yeah, it's like my least favorite song on that album. And he didn't sing a song on Hard Day's Night, so he didn't have a worse song.
Matchbox.
Yeah, well, yeah, then they put out Matchbox, which was a terrible Carl Perkins song, I believe, right?
Yeah, that was Carl Perkins.
Who is this Carl Perkins guy, and why does Ringo's voice not match?
He's the guy who originally sang Blue Suede Shoes.
Yes.
Carl Perkins is great. I'm gonna say it. If we're doing the other, like if we're gonna do because I know on Jason's channel you guys are doing 80s and 90s essential artists. If we're gonna do the miscellaneous video, I'm gonna put Carl Perkins on it if no one else picks him, because I think Carl Perkins is really important.
It's just Ringo's voice does not suit his music.
But none of the covers I've heard have been good from Carl Perkins, except for Sweet. I mean, Elvis does a good job with Sweet Blue. What's
Blue Suede Shoes.
Blue Suede Shoes? Yeah, Blue Suede Shoes. And his version, I think, is better than the Carl Perkins version. But I don't know. I've never cared for Carl Perkins personally, but I don't get him. But the Beatles were big fans. George is especially like a big fan of Carl Perkins. So he's definitely important. I agree with that because he's very influential to other people. All that, you know, and he wrote some songs that evidently hit songs that people covered. But yeah, this is my least favorite song on the album. And again, Ringo takes it. And luckily, his songs get better with the next album. He gets some better material, I think, to work with. But I agree with everything Nick said. I didn't like the guitar. I didn't like the vocals. It just felt like this weird, like, trying to do again. I don't like these 50s covers for the most part. There's some that work, and some like these, like rock and roll music, Kansas City, this don't work for me. Them trying to do these 50s stuff. That's like I want you to move forward, not backwards. Move forwards. Write your own stuff. That's the best stuff that's out there. Anyways, but yeah, I'll give it up to you guys to continue.
This is not just the worst song on this album. This is like one of my least favorite Beatles songs, period. Right up there with Revolution Number 9, Wild Honey Pie, and the Ballad of John freaking Yoko. This is double garbage. I need 2 cans for this one. When I first heard this, I'm like, Ringo, what are... Ah! It's just bad. And then, but what sealed the deal is that, like, because Boys was not one of my favorites on Please Please Me, but there's one moment I like on it where it just goes, all right, George, and that's all he does, and then George plays his solo. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Here, he tries way too hard to recreate that moment, but he's, like, really, like, playing into it, like, hey, rock on now, George, for Ringo. I'm like, no, you're trying too hard. And then he does it again. And this time he's like, oh, rock on, George Ringo, just one more time. I'm like, dude, you're trying too hard to recreate it. It was a spur-of-the-moment thing on the first album. You're trying too hard on this one. This is a Beatles song that I will throw in the trash can here. It is.
Okay. Well, I have the garbage can up here, so you probably think I'm going to hate this song. Well, nope.
Oh,
I'm the one sole guy standing.
Oh,
I thought this song was freaking great.
man!
I enjoyed this song. What are you guys talking about?
Okay.
I got you good. So we had Boys, which I did not care for. We had I Want to Be Your Man, which I liked fine. It wasn't great, but I still thought it was better than the Stones version. Matchbox was horrible. So you think because he did not do a good job covering Matchbox, you think I would hate Honey Don't, another Carl Perkins song he covered? Yeah, I actually enjoyed this. I thought Ringo's vocals, I think, fit the song very well. I think it's got a catchy beat to it. I even like the rock on George for Ringo. I think it just adds to the charm of the song. Like, this is one of the easiest, like, sing-along tracks on the album. I can't compare it to the Carl Perkins version, but to me, the song felt like a love letter to what I guess he originally did. I like it way better than Matchbox. Of the 4 Ringo Starr songs at this point, I know Ringo will do better with Act Naturally and Octopus's Garden, but of just on this early stuff, this is easily the best Ringo song of the bunch. But I know I'm in the minority on that.
It's the worst Ringo song, period.
Period. I would rather with the Beatles go Put It Down and Rock on George over the Matchbox.
The Matchbox.
Yeah, Matchbox is pretty bad.
Just give me $15 draw. That's a much better country song.
Yeah.
There is a much better Ringo song on the next album.
Yeah. Well, how many bad Honey songs have we had?
Honey Don't.
Taste of
Honey Pie.
Taste of Honey.
Taste of Honey.
Taste of Honey.
Honey Pie. Wild Honey Pie. Honey is terrible in the Beatles song for some reason.
Except Honey Don't. I like Honey Don't.
Except you like Honey Don't.
I like Honey Don't. Honey Don't. All right, so
You're
our
the only
next
one
song.
that.
Oh,
like,
and everyone's trying to do a movie. They took some honey from a tree. Every time they say honey, it just jinxes the song.
Well, we'll get to that song in a little bit, but our next song is "Every Little Thing."
This is another one of their more uninspired songs. It's a hell of a lot better than the previous two songs, though. Especially compared to Honey Don't, way better than that song. But I still don't like this song. I still think this is a pretty bad song, but I this is like the best of the songs on side two, besides the obvious good one.
I think it's another real hidden gem on the album. It's not one that anybody talks about. It's one that's maybe a little forgotten because it's just not out there as much. But every time I get to it, I'm like, oh yeah, this song. This is a nice song. I think it's catchy. I love the melody of it. The ba bum ba bum ba bum bum ba bum ba bum ba bum bum. Like, I don't know. I think it's really nice. And then it's a really good chorus. Everything she does for me. Yeah. Like, it's nice, catchy. I think overall it's should have been a bigger hit for them. I think it's a nice song.
I'm going to briefly remove the garbage can for this song.
Briefly.
This is, other than 8 Days a Week, this is the only song I like on the second side. The melody is pretty good, and I love when Ringo uses the timpani on the chorus. We're like, every little thing she does, boom,
Boom.
she does for me, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And I do like the part where they go, can't stop thinking about her now. Yeah, this is my second favorite song on the second side after 8 Days a Week, but everything else is just on the second side is kind of a, as John and Paul would say, a bit of a drag, isn't it?
All right. Again, I think I'm in the middle on this one. The only thing I really remember on this song is that every little thing she does, and the rest of the song, it just kind of comes in one ear out the other. I think this is one of the more forgettable songs on the album. I don't think it's garbage, but it's definitely subpar compared to some of the other material on this album and even in some of the previous albums. That leads into the next song. We got I Don't Want to Spoil the Party.
The song's also awful. I can't stand the song at all. I don't want to spoil the party. Like, they don't do the song well at all. I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to go for kind of like a country kind of thing with this, but yeah, leave the country stuff to Ringo. I think John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George couldn't do country at all, but I think Ringo was like the master of country music. Besides, I mean, Honey Don't is a good like exception to that, but other than that, I think Ringo does country perfectly. Yeah, it's just another uninspired song. The harmonies are awful. This is really bad.
Yeah, I really like the song. It's another one of my favorites on the album. It's another song that kind of follows, to me, it reminds me of Baby in Black and I'm a Loser. It's kind of following that. You know, it's a song about he's sad, so he doesn't want to go to this party because it's going to spoil everybody's mood because they're having a party. They're supposed to be having fun, and he's not in a mood to have fun. He's in a kind of more sad, depressed mood. So that's the whole style of the song. Again, it kind of falls along with some of the other songs on this album, the original material. Yeah, I like it's got a country vibe to it, which is really cool. Like, I kind of like that they changed it up a little bit with that. And they did a couple times in this album, which is interesting how they must have been inspired by some country music at this period or something. I like the guitars on it. I think guitar is really good beginning the song. And I love the harmonies are so good when they get to that, you know, tonight I'll be sad. I still love her. Harmonies are fantastic. Kind of like Babies in Black. Those are two songs that are very underrated because they got so many good harmonies. They should have been bigger songs on this album, but nobody really talks about it. And songs that I still go back to and my favorites on the album.
I'm not going to put the trash can back, but this one is kind of just middle of the road for me. When I first saw the title, I Don't Want to Spoil the Party. I thought it was going to be this up-tempo rocker about how John's like a party crasher and he's going to come in and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to spoil the party. Like, with some like up-tempo rock number. I'm like, yeah, that's like a cool song. What is I Don't Want to Spoil the Party? And I put it in and it's like this sappy, well, not sappy, but like this like more I don't want to spoil the party. I'm going to ruin everyone's mood kind of a song. And I'm like, oh man, that was kind of a letdown. I'm not going to put the garbage can up, but it's more middle of the road in this album.
I'm going to be on Team Jason. I actually really like this song. Again, it's the country rock production on this song that I'm actually really drawn to. I think George Harrison plays like the 12-string guitar on this song, which he played a lot on the Hard Day's Night album. I actually read this song in particular inspired some of the folk rock stuff that would later pop up throughout the 60s, particularly the Byrds. And I think this song, even inspired Crosby, Stills, and Nash, which I think is pretty cool. I like, of the two country-inspired songs, I think I'm a Loser is better and more memorable. But I do think this has a great production to it. And like Jason said, the harmonies on this song are really terrific. And they can pull off, I think, the sad vibe on this song very well, especially when you got the title, I Don't Want to Spoil the Party, and I Love Her in the bridge. I think it's another really good song on this album, very underrated. And now we're down to the last two tracks on the album. The next one is What You're Doing.
Oh, no.
This song is so bad. I'm glad Scott's with me on this at least. This is a really bad song. Ah, what you doing? What? I'm like, oh my god. And the drum beat in the beginning, the guitar intro is so awful. You guys are horrible at doing 50s inspired songs. Let me tell you guys. Why didn't you do songs like 8 Days a Week? Oh my god, this is awful. This is really abysmal. How could people call me an idiot for not saying the Beatles is the best thing since sliced bread? And with these songs being made, I hate this song. This is awful.
I don't think they're talking about these songs when they say that.
I like this song. I love the guitar part. Dun 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 dun. Whatever. I really like it. It's another underrated song on the album, which it's not a big song. It's not going to be one that's going to play on the radio or anybody's ever going to talk about. But it's not bad when it comes to this album. When you get to the song here again, it's like, oh, this is a nice little number. Like that I forgot that exists. I do forget it exists till I get to it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I like this song. And like, yeah, the bump, what you're doing, bump, 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 bump. It's not the greatest song on the album, but it's still, I like it. It's still nice. It's a nice little Beatle tune.
Okay, so when I said I'm a sucker for McCartney, and I said I like 9 out of 10 McCartney songs. Well, this is the 1 out of 10 I don't. This is the one of those 1 out of 10 songs, and I do emphasize the 1 out of 10. First off, the drums at the beginning is just like, and I don't know, I don't really like that intro. If you want to listen to something with a very similar drum intro that's a lot better, listen to My Obsession by the Rolling Stones. It does that drum intro thing a lot better. And like, I don't know, I think the guitar line is very cheesy. And then the biggest reason I don't like this song is just the way they scream the first word. It's like, stop! What you doing? I'm feeling blue. I'm like, that's just bad. That's why I got El or La Bisora or whatever trash is in Spanish. Yeah.
All right. Where do I stand on this one? I'm gonna go on the positive end on this song. I don't think I like it as much as Jason. It's not one of my favorites on the album, but I think it's a step up from some of the more mediocre songs on this album. I think this one does have a good groove to it. This one is a little bit more memorable. What you doing? I like this one a little better than Every Little Thing. I think this one's a little more memorable. I like how Paul sings on this track. Not their best song, but I like it fine. And now we get the big closer on the album.
Great closer.
We're covering Carl Perkins again. And this is the only song led by George Harrison. Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby.
Yeah, that should just prove how bad the song is. This is arguably one of the worst album closers ever. This is
yeah.
People give crap on Dizzy Miss Lizzy for being the closing on Help, but at least that song's a good song. This song is abysmal. Wow, you like buddy? Awful. The musicianship is bland as ever on this track, and George Harrison sucks. He sucks at singing the song. He is awful. He is garbage. He is a piece of crap on this song. I love George Harrison, but man, this song is awful. It is the worst song on the album, bar none.
Yeah, where Honey Dunk's probably is the worst on this album. This is the second worst, if not the worst.
Okay, good. I was afraid Jason to be like, I actually like this song. It's kind of like the no quarter moment for this album.
Oh no!
No, this song's horrible. And yeah, it's towards the bottom. One of the worst Beatles songs, along with Honey Don't, I think, are two of the worst Beatles songs they ever put out. They're both cover songs. They're both Carl Perkins songs. Along with Match, they did 3 Carl Perkins songs, and they're 3 like towards the bottom of my. When I did my ranking, every single Beatles song, all 213, all 3 Carl Perkins songs were towards the very bottom of my list. I don't like Carl Perkins stuff. I don't know. I'm just not into. Their covers are just horrible. And again, it's just them going back to this 50s style, and it's like, man, this is No Reply is so good. You know, I'm a Loser, Baby's Black, I'll Follow the Sun. They got so much good material here. Man, why go back to the 50s? You're better than that now. It's not the 50s anymore. Let's head on to 60s, 65. You know, let's get some. It's just frustrating when you get to this type of stuff and you're like no more of this stuff. We're quitting after this album. No more cover stuff. I mean, there's some cover stuff, but no bad covers. This is every cover after this, I want to say is good after this. This is the last like bad stuff that we have to listen to, I think, and I'm glad. And why did you end the album on this song? I don't get it.
Man, I'm so glad to talk about this song so we can get over with, get on to I Feel Fine and all the good Beatles albums. Extra garbage. Extra garbage. This song is atrocious. The lyrics, I know it's a cover, but you could have changed the lyrics. The lyrics are awful. They took some honey from a tree.
From a tree.
Does honey even come from a tree? No, it comes from a beehive. They dressed it up and they called it Me. That's the opening line. That is an atrocious line.
That is,
and it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. Went out. It was like, what is it like? Went outside before too late. Before I got home, I had 19 dates. Everyone's trying to be my baby. I went out 4:30. 50 women knocking at my door. It's like, these are just the worst lyrics. Like, it's so bad. And like, you pair it with this awful annoying melody. Like, everybody's trying to be my baby. Everybody's trying to be my baby. And then he's got, I know it's a 50s inspired thing, but like the echo on his voice is very annoying. No, not only have to listen to him sing it once, I have to listen to him sing it twice, slightly delayed from each other, because he has an echo on his voice.
Yeah.
Like, whenever this album ends, it's like, good. Why did you have to make this the closer?
Yeah.
Why? I know why they didn't put singles on the albums, but like, could have had "I Feel Fine" close the album. Like, it would have made this album a lot better. Take off "Honey Don't" and "Everyone's Trying to Be My Baby" and put on "I Feel Fine" and "She's a Woman." And I guarantee you, I would listen to this album
Yes.
10 times as much as I do if those two songs were in the place of those two songs.
Okay, so I had the unpopular opinion of liking "Honey Don't." So what? Do I feel the same thing about "Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby"?
I hope not.
I think this is the best song on the album.
I
I'm just kidding. This song sucks.
As soon as you said it's the best song on the album, like, I'm in the clear now.
No, I saw his face.
Yeah. See, the problem I have with this song, it's not that the lyrics are cheesy. It's not because I can't stand the production. The production's fine. For me, what hurts this song is George Harrison, believe it or not. He's not the best at covering songs in this era.
Yeah.
He brought down Roll Over Beethoven, and he brought down Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby. I've heard the Carl Perkins original, actually.
Okay.
And I like it a lot better.
Okay.
So it's not that the song is bad. It's the person singing the song made it bad. George was a poor fit for this song. I think if Paul did the song, it would have been better. If John did the song, it would have been better. Heck, even if Ringo did this song, since I like Honey Don't, he can do Carl Perkins well unless it's about a matchbox. I think Ringo would have done a better version of this song. But no, George Harrison was a poor fit to sing this song. And it's a poor excuse of an album closer. I don't think it's as bad as Money That's What I Want, but it's still a poor album closer. And I think even though I defend this album, the fact that this is the album closer does hurt the score a little bit. So, yep, I'm going to say garbage on this one.
All right. We can agree on that.
So we agree on two things: one, on the best song on the album, and two, a song that really is not great.
Yes.
I'm glad we
right.
agree on two songs.
Thank you, Mick. All right, so top five? What are your top five from that album?
I don't have a top five.
Can't do top five.
I'm just gonna do the top five worst songs because I find more bad than good. So I'll just do my top five worst songs. Coming out at number five, I'm gonna say "Honey Don't." That song sucks. Respectfully disagree with you, Jacob. Coming in at number four, I'm gonna say "All for the Sun." I do not like that song at all. Number three, I'm gonna go with "Words of Love." Number two, I'm gonna say "Mr. Moonlight," and "Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby" is the worst song on the album. I in that song. As for the best song on the album, easily 8 Days a Week.
Yeah, number five for me is "I Don't Want to Spoil the Party." Number four is "Baby Is in Black." Number three is "No Reply." Number two is "I'll Follow the Sun," and number one, 8 Days a Week.
Number five will be "Babies in Black." Number four is "I'm a Loser." Number three is "No Reply." Number two, "I'll Follow the Sun," and number one is going to be 8 Days a Week.
Well, my top five on this album.
Honey Don't's gonna be in it, isn't it?
Number five, "No Reply." Number four, "I'm a Loser." Number three, "Honey Don't."
Honey Don't. Number three.
Wow, looks like Mick Jagger agrees with you on that.
Yeah.
Number two, "I'll Follow the Sun," and then my favorite is 8 Days a Week.
Wow. So we all had the same number one. First time, I think, right? Or
Yes,
Yeah,
we
the
had a
first time we did it.
quadrifecta on best song. So at least we agree on that.
And
Yeah, but when it stands out like a sore thumb, what the best song is it really that great of an album? Either
No,
that or
yeah.
that song's got to be pretty good.
well, me, Jacob, and Scott had the same number 2 as well. So our number 1, number 2 were the exact same. In fact, me and Scott had the same top 3 as well. So some pretty good agreement there between the 3 of us.
I'm giving it a 1 out of 10.
Well, not that bad.
1
I
out
don't
of
like
10?
anything on.
Well,
I hate it.
Thing except for one song.
I say I only like one song on the album, and everything else I don't like at all. So 1 out of 10.
So, yeah. Well, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I still think it's a good album. I still like this album. I think all the originals are really good. If you take all the cover songs off this album and you have the originals and like let's say you add I Feel Fine and She's a Woman to it, it's like a 10 out of 10 album. I think these songs are really good. It's just unfortunate that they put these really terrible cover songs on here and it totally ruins the album and brings it down. But not totally. I still give it an 8 out of 10. I still think it's an underrated album, somewhat underappreciated. I have it just above With the Beatles, which I had at 7.5. So it's towards the bottom, but that's because the Beatles have so many good albums. So
I'm going to give it a 7. I also can't give an album with 8 days a week on it anything like lower than a 6. So, yeah, it's going to be my score.
it's going to be a pretty low score.
I'm going to give it a 7
Wow.
out of 10. I think it's a little better than With the Beatles. I think there's some underrated stuff on this album. Some of the deeper tracks on this album I actually really liked, and I respect some of these songs. I think it's a little bit of a step down, especially after how great of an album A Hard Day's Night was. But I don't think it's near as bad of an album as some are making it out to be. Even some of the cover songs, I think, have their charm to it. You know, it's like the one person that like Honey Don't. Our next Beatles review will be Help, probably be a couple weeks.
Help is on the way.
The goal next week, we'll go back to CCR, go down on the corner, and listen to Willie and the Poor Boys.
Yeah, that album is epic.
Well, thank you all for tuning in to the Beatles for Sale review. Like I said, Help is our next Beatles review. We'll do Willie and the Poor Boys next week. Lord willing, with CCR. Any final words on Beatles for Sale?
This album sucks.
It's underrated.
Music is art. Art is expression, but if you're going to express yourself, please do it when you're not as tired. Don't forget to flip your 45s.
Rock on, George, for Ringo!